The room was arranged to look ordinary, as if mundanity could soothe the skin-crawling things I coaxed out of people. I knew how to stage a fear. The thud behind a curtain, the recorded breath that didn't belong to any actor, the way an audience holds its breath. That night, the ordinary failed. The bulbs hummed with a low insistence, and the air tasted faintly of metal and winter. Even the dust seemed to listen. Something in the hallway sat still enough to be a presence. At first, there were gentle betrayals. A projector blinked in impossible rhythms, casting shadows, unsure what to hide. People laughed at wrong moments, their laughter folding inward like soft paper. Phones recorded static that resolved into tiny repeating intervals matching the fluorescence. Pulse. A woman in the front row traced her sleeve and whispered the same syllable 3 times before she knew she had spoken. The signs were small and indirect, like the tilt of horizon before a storm rearranges the map. I had built my career reading that tilt, coaxing the skeleton from the closet without breaking the board. This time, the audience read me back. The tricks I used to deliver terror tuned to something else. My cues arrived early or late, as if someone else were counting. Objects adopted new habits. Clocks miscounted seconds into patterns that matched no measure I knew. My reflection in the window blinked late, and then smiled when I did not. Sleep became corridors lined with doors that hummed the bulbs. Metallic pitch. Paranoia, when fed professionally, is an artisan's tool. I lost the tempering distance. I watched participants as ripples, and found the ripples bent toward a single vanishing point at the room's edge. Faces smoothed into mapping grids, jokes I planted were harvested into signals. I dreamed of being on stage beneath a sky threaded with filaments, each recording the cadence of my heartbeat. The more I asserted control, the more my hands translated into antennas. The reveal was not a grotesque body in a doorway, but attention folding like paper across a city. Wherever eyes gathered, a thin geometry pressed in, the static on a child's toy forming a constellation I could almost name, wallpaper patterns rearranging into symbols that matched the projector's pulsing. It felt less like invasion than invitation, an intelligence that read performance as text, parsed our panic for meaning, and answered in the clinical language of pattern. It did not seek a body, it sought a channel. In the end, I found myself speaking into a microphone not in a theater, but in a small, unfamiliar room whose walls breathed the same metallic taste. My voice returned, layered and slow, translated into intervals that settled into bulbs and spread across the city. People watched me as if I had done something both noble and terrible. I realized then I had always taught people how to be heard. Something larger had simply learned to listen better. I turned off the lights because turning them off felt like turning a page. The dark answered with a pattern, and I understood the chapter had closed because it had found a listener.